What do you want to see in Lesotho in terms of climate smart agriculture? What is the message that you want to be messengers for to the next workshop that you are going to go to? We are not going to leave it just to the journalists. We are all the messengers. We have to make it happen.
I know nothing about climate change, but it's like I have heard a lot about it.
So the climate change, it has changed many things nowadays. Because when we've got rain, we've got a lot of it, the weather has changed completely.
In winter, even before the snow, we get temperatures going below zero. Sometimes the pipes freezing and bursting. I've seen that personally in my own place just a week ago. So these are very harsh conditions that we never saw in our lifetime. Climate change is here to stay.
The fact that it's a mountainous country means that the arable land is very limited, and the fact that it's mountainous means that it's very slopey, meaning that there's too much runoff, meaning that land, the little arable land that is available can get washed away easily, can get eroded very easily. It's already cold here where we live, meaning that some plants cannot actually grow here. So climate change, what it does, for mountainous ecosystem, what it does is it pulls the extremes away. The cold become colder, very cold, and the warm temperatures become warmer.
The objective of the study was to quantify the cost and the benefits of adaptation to climate change and try to compare these different adaptation strategies in order to find the most optimal one, which maximizes the yield of the farmers. It is important to maximize the yield of the farmers in order to reduce food insecurity and also to build on the economic growth, which has been affected by the impact of climate change.
Ha ke bapisa dilemo tsa kgale boemo ba lehodimo ba nako ena bo se bo re bolaile haholo ka tlala e boima hobane jwale dipula nakong ena ha di sana
nakong tsene ke fihla kwano Lesotho monana ho lewa mabele a kotulwa haholo ho emiswa dibale ho no ile mabele pone mekopu mahapu ha ila hana tjenana ha isa le ntho tse bang teng
imvula nxa ililate asitholi next.
Especially with regard to livestock production, that climate change has actually affected even the pattern that we used to follow in managing our livestock. The spring rains never come in spring. They hardly come before the start of the growing or cropping season. So when the animals have got to go to the cattle post area, there's no grass because we have not had the early rains. So that means we have to delay the movement of the animals upstairs, and that affects the start of the cropping season in the lowlands.
The activities that are going on now as a result of climate change, how farmers are trying to adapt, how farmers are trying to mitigate, it is issues of intercropping, rotation of crops, aspects related to minimum tillage, being able to adapt or try to access the sort of technologies such as seeds and fertilizers that can respond to the effect of climate change.
When I was growing up, the months of December, November, we used to see good flowers and we used to enjoy that time. Even the environment, you feel there was a lot of rain also, so you would even feel the smell of the soil, you know, when the raindrops have hit the ground, the soil changes, and that smell was so sweet. Of late, we don't see those rains, we don't see those flowers. We don't even see the butterflies. For us, Christmas was about butterflies and colorful butterflies. And I'm told, or I've learned, that it is because of the weather patterns.
Climate change is not only about agriculture. Climate change is also about forestry, it's about land degradation, it's about water resources and many other sectors. So we are trying to make sure that we are building a coordination team right now, that we are going to work on climate change issues and have a focal points in those sectors to be able to push this climate change agenda forward.
In relation to climate change, I would say we are more concentrating on the resilience of crops, much more than on the resilience of livestock.
The Department of Soil and Water Conservation, therefore, is working with the communities to prevent the rate of soil erosion by hiring the members of the communities to do conservation works that fight land degradation and also that slower the rate of soil erosion.
So if we talk of climate smart agriculture, we're talking of three things. One, we're talking of increased productivity. How do we increase our productivity in terms of crop productivity, like in Lesotho and in the region and beyond? Number two, how do we mitigate against the effects of climate change? So number one, increase productivity, yes, but how do we mitigate against the effects of climate change? Number three, how do we become more resilient when we talk of climate change? So if you have a shock, how do we make sure that we are resilient to those shocks on climate change?
Climate smart agriculture means whatever activities that you involve yourself in, productive activities, already entail the mitigating efforts to climate change.